In the early 13th century, the vast steppes of Central Asia were home to numerous nomadic tribes, each vying for power and survival. Among them emerged a leader whose name would become synonymous with conquest and empire building, Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin around 1162, he overcame personal tragedies and tribal conflicts to unite the Mongol tribes, laying the foundation for one of the largest empires in history. Temujin's early life was fraught with challenges. After his father's assassination, his family was abandoned by their tribe, leaving them in destitution. These hardships forged a resilient and determined leader. Through strategic alliances and unmatched military prowess, Temujin united the fractious Mongol tribes under his leadership by 1206, earning the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. Genghis Khan revolutionized warfare with innovative tactics and a highly disciplined army. The Mongol military was renowned for its mobility, utilizing swift horsemen and composite bows to devastating effect. They employed psychological warfare, spreading fear to encourage surrender and minimize resistance. Cities that resisted faced annihilation, while those that submitted were often spared, fostering a reputation that preceded their advance. The Mongol conquests began with neighboring territories, but soon expanded into a vast campaign that stretched across continents. They overran the Khwarezmian Empire, swept through Persia, and reached the fringes of Europe. Their empire facilitated unprecedented cultural and economic exchange along the Silk Road, connecting the East and West in ways previously unimaginable. Genghis Khan's death in 1227 did not halt the Mongol expansion. His successors continued to push the empire's boundaries, eventually creating the largest contiguous land empire in history. The Mongol Empire's legacy is complex, marked by both unparalleled destruction and the facilitation of cross-cultural interactions that shaped the modern world. Fast forward to the 20th century, a different kind of division symbolized the ideological rift between East and West. Post-World War II, Germany was divided into East and West, with Berlin, the capital, split between the Soviet-controlled East and the Allied-controlled West. This division was physically manifested in 1961 with the construction of the Berlin Wall, a concrete barrier that became the Cold War's most potent symbol. The Berlin Wall was more than just a physical barrier. It represented the ideological divide between communism and capitalism. Families were separated, and the movement was severely restricted. Over the years, numerous escape attempts were made, some successful, many tragically ending in death. The wall stood as a testament to the suppression of freedom and the lengths to which a regime would go to prevent its citizens from leaving. By the 1980s, the Soviet Union faced significant internal challenges, including economic stagnation and growing public discontent. Mikhail Gorbachev, who became the Soviet leader in 1985, introduced reforms like glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring, in an attempt to revitalize the Soviet system. These policies inadvertently loosened the Soviet grip on Eastern Europe. In East Germany, public unrest grew, with citizens demanding greater freedoms and the right to travel. Mass protests erupted, notably in Leipzig, where weekly demonstrations swelled in size. The East German government, under mounting pressure, announced on November 9, 1989, that citizens would be permitted to cross the border. Miscommunication led to thousands gathering at the wall, and overwhelmed guards eventually allowed them to pass freely. The scenes that followed were jubilant. Berliners from both sides climbed atop the wall, celebrating and chipping away at the barrier that had divided them for decades. The fall of the Berlin Wall not only marked the reunification of a city and a country, but also signaled the impending end of the Cold War. It was a moment that captured the world's attention, symbolizing the triumph of freedom over oppression. These two events, though separated by centuries and circumstances, highlight pivotal moments in human history where the actions of individuals and the tides of ideology reshaped societies and left lasting impacts on the world.